So YouTube family, let's talk about it. This hypocrisy and bias that's been sitting in plain sight, and it starts with Quincy Avery. Quincy Avery, the self-proclaimed quarterback guru who somehow always finds his way to take a shot at the Sanders family, Deion Sanders, Shedeur Sanders in particular, the entire family. He even had spats and feuds with Bucky Jr. of Well Off Media. I've been proven over and over this guy can't stand the family. I'm going to tell you what just recently happened. Now, all of a sudden, after the Miami Dolphins Cleveland Browns game that surpassed a couple of days ago, Quincy Avery is out here defending Dillon Gabriel's horrible performance in the Browns' so-called victory over the Miami Dolphins. You heard me right. Over the Miami Dolphins, he's out here going at everybody and anybody telling the truth about Dillon Gabriel. I personally believe he's coming at me because I have a certain associate who hit me up and gave me this receipt I'm about to show you guys. But in the first half, to see what Dillon Gabriel did, he basically threw for 55 yards passing in the first half and looked completely lost out here. And what excuse did Quincy give? He said it was raining. There was 25 miles per hour wind. And did y'all want Dillon's stats to look like that? In other words, we don't know football. He knows football. So let me show you what Quincy wrote about it. He said it was raining with 25 miles per hour wind. And what did you guys want his stat line to look like? I've never knew that raining in the NFL is now a plausible excuse for a quarterback to throw 55 yards in a game when said so quarterbacks have all been proven to throw exceptionally well in that type of climate. I just find it odd that two scrub quarterbacks, Tua Tagovailoa and Dillon Gabriel, are the ones that this dude Quincy Avery finds a way to look forward towards an excuse. Like, come on, man. Come on, man. That's the weakest excuse I've heard in years, because when Shedeur Sanders plays in bad weather, Quincy, the first one to jump online and says he's not processing fast enough or he holds the ball too long. You know, the information gatherings that our quarterbacks don't have a high IQ. You know, the typical stitch. Now, see, the difference is clear. When it's Shedeur, Quincy turns into a professional critique. When it's Dillon Gabriel, suddenly he's a meteorologist talking about wind speeds and all that. But let's never negate the fact that Quincy was the first one to actually diss Dillon Gabriel. I keep receipts, guys. Remember when he said this right here? Let me make it bigger for you guys. He dissed the hell out of Dillon Gabriel. When Dillon Gabriel had his preseason performance, Quincy Avery said, "Put your phones down. It's the preseason. The preseason cannot confirm someone is ready for the NFL. It can confirm someone is not." It seems baffling he would do this criticism towards Dillon Gabriel, which I agree with Quincy Avery. But I find it odd that he goes on a badgering campaign towards Shedeur Sanders, one like this. For like 4 years now, he's been relentlessly attacking the Sanders family. And a couple of you people tell me I'm tripping, but I've been coming out with receipts and receipts, sort of like this right here when he sabotaged Shedeur during the draft. Any of this. So what this guy had to say was overwhelmingly just enough, bro. This is what he said.
We've never seen a quarterback go in the first round who was really limited in terms of traits. So I don't see the translation in terms of the things that he did in college, working in NFL. The offense that he ran was so focused on passes at or behind the line of scrimmage. I think that he threw more of those than anybody in the country. And the second component of it was he took longer to throw than anybody in the country, with just 2.94 seconds or 96 seconds. Throwing the football before a guy comes out of his break. Seeing what a defense is doing pre-snap, which allows me to go to the line of scrimmage with a really good plan. Now, that may be as much on his coaching staff as it is on him, which he may be able to correct. But those are tough to give people the benefit of the doubt if they don't have the athletic profile. It's difficult when you're not athletic enough to run around and create plays. Like Shedeur's probably a 5-1.
You heard that excuse he made? Like, I can talk about a lot of things he said there, but one of the main things referencing that Shedeur Sanders is not athletic enough. Let's be real. Quincy Avery has been attacking the Sanders families for years, guys. Every single time Deion Sanders or Shedeur gets a win or even a headline, Quincy comes with the slick comments, the backward shots. I mean, actually the backhanded shots, or that fake analyst breakdown just to tear them down. And why? Because deep down, he's scared. He knows Shedeur is about to overtake his client, Deshaun Watson. Now, remember, Quincy Avery is Deshaun Watson's private coach, quarterback coach, that is. And he used to work with Shedeur too. But once Shedeur started to elevate and become the face of the new generation, Quincy got salty. That jealousy turned into an obsession, which Deion Jr. had to shine in and make a statement. Now that statement will go over heads, but the thug Quincy Avery would just continue to attack. This was last year in June 25th, and Deion Jr. would let him know, what's wrong with you? You feel me? So Deion Jr. said, we both had NFL dreams and didn't make it. We both found a different route and both found successful doing what we do. I applaud your 304 tell for that. In saying all that, you still itch made for constantly talking down on people on this app that don't even know you. All love though. I'll see you in person. Now I'm with Deion Jr. because this guy Quincy wouldn't stop. Look, on the bright side, he thinks you are good enough. He will also consider you one of his sons. It's disrespectful. This guy is supposed to be a professional, and you're out here claiming that you're basically insinuating that Deion Sanders doesn't love Bucky Jr. because for football related reasons, Bucky isn't as talented as a Travis Hunter. You know how disrespectful that is? How can that equate to the love between a father and son? But this is who the turd is, because I find it odd he went harder at the Sanders family during the draft process, and I think I have found it. It was when you got the new show or the documentary that Hulu gave you for all the tap dancing, cornbread, buttermilk biscuit eating, fetching and stepping and fetching you've been doing. And it was called the Quincy Avery effect. You talked about being homeless and all that, but shut up, dude. How can you talk about that if you don't follow suit with the lifestyle of the circumstances that you've been in? You don't protect or defend anybody. You called Shedeur Sanders a 6th-round pick. You even stood on it and said that was being nice. I keep nothing but receipts about scrubs like you. You went out your way to defend Quinn Ewers. This is at a time when everybody knew Quinn Ewers was an overrated quarterback, in particular me. It seems that I'm more of a guru than you, and this is why Quinn Ewers wasn't drafted. Now, hopefully he does well with the Miami Dolphins, because anybody I'll take to replace Tua Tagovailoa, but to see you go out your way to just be this disrespectful clown on any given basis, you have relentlessly attacked the Sanders family with salacious news, nothing that's credible enough. And I've been on you, boy, and you are a boy in every single measures when you talk about other grown men. There is no other way I can call you an adult. You are a boy in every single aspect. So to read some of these things where you denigrated a family, you guys can pause and read it. You wrote a lot of these nasty things leading up to the draft, and my only thing was, why are you harping on the Sanders family? Why are you concentrated on this one particular family every single time you're on the national headlines or you're on a national level platform, especially when you and Bomani Jones were two clowns going back and forth relentless? Now, at the end of the day, you're biased and you have a clear obsession, but it's for said so reasons. He's also connected to the Cleveland Browns organization. If you guys don't know, he's an associate of them. The same team where Shedeur and Dillon Gabriel are now teammates. And notice how Quincy never criticizes the coaching staff, never calls out Kevin Stefanski or Andrew Berry for the mess they've made in Cleveland, but he's quick to downplay Shedeur and defend Dillon Gabriel. This is the worst case of a sellout that I've ever seen. And I'm not trying to exaggerate. I'm being being very honest with my words. That tells you everything you need to know. This is not analysis. This is politics. Quincy's protecting his relationship and his paycheck. That's the only thing he's defending and protecting. He's been bought and programmed to push whatever narratives that keeps his circle happy. I think it's been stated and proven on this platform of I Smoke Hip Hop Live. Let's not forget, this is the same Quincy Avery who once said Shedeur Sanders, like I showed you guys proof, should have been damn near the last person picked in the draft if his name wasn't Sanders, as if he's another Ark Manning or something, as if he didn't put work in the game. Then when Shedeur started balling out in preseason, Quincy called it a nightmare that he had to play as a fourth string quarterback, which he was forced in that fourth string position. It was not Shedeur deciding not to get the actual reps. I thought you have to actually get reps to be proven that you're no good to not be utilized. But Shedeur was never even given a chance to be utilized. So Quincy is starting propaganda through sheer nonsense and his biased hatred towards that family. So which one is it, Quincy? Is he not good enough, or is he too good that you can't stand to see it? Make your mind up. And it goes deeper, ladies and gentlemen, because this man even questioned Deion Sanders' coaching acumens, his coaching career, saying it was more about promoting his sons than building the Colorado's program. How come that same narrative is not applied to other coaches who coach with their sons or nephews, which is running rampant through the Mayo community, and it's been going on for decades upon decades, and no one ever had issues with fathers coaching their sons until you see a level like the Sanders family. But you're going to believe it's not the complexion of protection. You're going to believe it's not Mayo, and I say so. But Quincy sees himself through the lens of a Mayo counterpart, and even my Mayo brethren and sisters agree with me. This is a worse complete case of a sellout if I've ever seen one. To just disrespect and project your projections as if it's an actual fact, it cements my status on all you step infections. There's only one solution for all step infections out there. I've always stood on that. There's only one sole purpose that can be done to any step infection, and because we're on YouTube, I will not say it, but I will give you your anthem.
I'm talking with them two nigga magpies. Remember them two nigga birds? I seen a whole, them little nigga birds. What was I supposed to think? They were French birds? I seen a whole fly. Big eyes. I seen a butterfly. I done seen little nigga birds. I done seen.
You feel me? I done seen a jigaboo cry. That part. We got to go a little bit further deeper on it, ladies and gentlemen. At the end of the day, you can't see what he's doing and play up to a level of he's being a professional. He's not. You cannot call yourself a quarterback coach or a leader of young men and constantly tearing down one of the few black families in football who are winning publicly, professionally, and spiritually. Nothing being connotated with some type of love and hip hop Atlanta rhetoric. None of that. They're actually out here winning as a family and comprising what we know about the black Americans right now. We know we come from great families. We know we have a structured family, but what's presented out there is fake stats by guys like Charlie and his followers, fake stats about the 13% being overwhelmingly 30 to 80% of the problem in America is a farce. It's a facade. It's always been that. It's the go-to stitch of the scapegoat for whatever crap that you failures are going through. The black man and black woman will always be to blame. At the end of the day, Quincy Avery's problem, ladies and gentlemen, with the Sanders family isn't football, because it's always going to be bigger than football and deeper than football. But his problem, it's eternal. He sees something in them that he wishes he had. You seen his life story that Hulu gave him. He sees the confidence and purpose and legacy in the Sanders family, something that he didn't grow up with and that he never had. So let's call it what it is. Quincy Avery's bias against Deion Sanders and Shedeur Sanders is rooted in insecurity. His defense of Dillon Gabriel isn't about football. It's about control, influence, and fear. Because when Shedeur Sanders finally takes over the starting job for the Cleveland Browns or any other professional teams, hell, I'll even take Canadian football at this time, the CFL. Yep, that's right. So at the end of the day, and we all know it's coming, every single one of these critiques from Quincy Avery to those fake media analysts will have to eat their words. DJ BlessOne signing out. Real commentary, no bias, no scripts, just facts, ladies and gentlemen, and you just got to deal with it.